Hey everybody, it's David Long, and today I'm going to teach you the beloved Beatles song Blackbird, 100% accurate to how it's performed by Paul McCartney on the White Album. So I'll be going through the entire song front to back with guitar tabs provided on screen, but most importantly I'm going to show you Paul McCartney's unique finger-picking patterns, which the vast majority of songbooks and internet resources teach incorrectly. So let's jump right in, give this video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you at the end. Alright, let's get you up to speed on these picking patterns first. So there are only two picking patterns in this entire song, and both of them only ever involve your thumb and index finger. The first of these two patterns I call the pinch pattern, and they're used over these figures. So anytime you have that steady eighth note rhythm, you're doing the pinch pattern, okay? Here's how it's played. Start out by putting the third fret of the E string down, and the way it goes is you do a down pluck with your thumb simultaneously with an up strum of your index finger on the G and B strings, and then you do a down strum with your index finger on the G and B also. I accidentally hit the E there, but it sounds like this. That's it. Okay? So that's the pinch pattern. It's pretty simple. Whenever your bass note moves, you got to move your thumb accordingly, like for instance in the beginning of the song. I had to move my thumb from the E string to the A string, but the overall movement is the same. So that's the pinch pattern, which is really simple. The second picking pattern, which I'll call picking pattern 2, comes after this build-up. It first occurs when you slide up to the 10th fret of the A string and the 12th fret of the B string, and it goes like this. And that's the picking pattern that most tab resources don't tab correctly, and almost every songbook I've ever seen gets that wrong as well. So here's how it goes. You start out with a pinching motion similar to the pinch pattern, where you do the bass note, in this case the A string, and you upstrum the G and B strings like this. Then you do a down up with your index finger on the G and B, and that's the first half of the pattern, which sounds like this. The second half, you pluck the A string down with your thumb and then do an up-down right after it. So the thumb is by itself, and then you do up-down, and it sounds like this. You're doing the up-down on the G and B strings, of course. So you take the first half, combine it with the second half, and you get this. All right? I'll play it once for you really slowly. Really, the key to mastering this picking pattern is getting very good at strumming the G and B strings with your index finger really smoothly like that. It's almost as though you're plucking a ukulele, if you've ever played ukulele. And I use kind of the side of my index finger to do that. And that's both picking patterns. That's all you really need to know for the entire song. Okay, the next part of the song is the intro. I'll play it once and then I'll show it to you. Okay, so this is a little instrumental introduction before Paul starts singing. Here's how it goes. So you start out with the third fret down on the low E string, just like what I was showing you before, and you do a pinch pattern. Of course, you're plucking the E string and upstrumming the G and B, and then downstrumming it right after. That's the pinch pattern. Then move your thumb to the A string and your index finger of your fretting hand onto the first fret of the B string. Do the same movement. So now you've got the A string you're plucking with your thumb, and you're doing up-down with your index on the G and B, just like before. Then you're going to move to the second fret of the A, third fret of the B, do that exact same movement. And on the down strum, you're going to slide up to the 10th fret of the A and the 12th fret of the B. You actually don't need to move your fretting hand from the strings that are already on, because you're on the same strings, okay? So it's slide up, and then on the 10th fret of the A and the 12th fret of the B, you do picking pattern 2. Twice. Okay? That's the intro. On to the verse. I'm going to play through the whole verse once, and then I will explain it. Okay, so here's how the verse goes. You start out with the exact same sequence as the intro in the beginning, except Paul's singing now. So he goes, Blackbird singing in the dead of night. And you can see those movements are exactly the same as the intro, so I won't bother showing you that. Then the next part is take these broken wings and learn to fly, and here's how that goes. So you've got the 3rd fret of the A string down with the 5th fret of the B, and you do the pinch pattern. Then you're going to move that 3rd fret of the A up to the 4th fret, use your middle finger, and then tuck your index finger down to the 3rd fret of the E string. And because you're on the E string there, you need to adjust the pinch pattern to include that string. So that's what you're going to strum with your index finger. And you're going to upstrum all 3 of these strings here, the E, the B, and the G. And you downstrum them as well, actually. A lot of people don't include the B in that chord, but it is there. So you go 3rd on A, 5th on B, to 4th on A, 3rd on E. Then that exact same movement of your fretting hand repeats, except now you're beginning on the 5th fret of the A and the 7th fret of the B. Watch. You see how my fretting fingers did the same thing there as they did here? Okay, and the picking pattern stays the same. So 3-5 on the A and B, 4-3 on the A and E, 5 on the A, 7 on the B, 6 on the A, 5 on the E. All right? From there, you're going to go to the 7th fret of the A and the 8th fret of the B and do picking pattern 2. Okay? You do that just once, then you're going to just move that 7th fret down to the 6th by switching your middle to your index and your fretting hand and do picking pattern 2 again. Then you go back to 5 and 7 like you were on before and do the pinch pattern. And then you move to 4 of A and 3 of E. You're kind of retracing your steps down the shapes you were doing before. So that's... Okay. Then you're on 3 of A and 5 on B again. Picking pattern 2. Move that 5 down to 4. That, picking pattern 2. Scoot both of these frets down by 1, so you're on 2 of A and 3 of B, excuse me. Then you're going to let go of the A string completely, move the 3rd fret down to the B string and do picking pattern 2. Then scoot that 2nd fret down to the 1st fret, and your thumb is going to move to the D string and do picking pattern 2. So it's all constrained within those 3 strings right there. A little tough at first, but you'll get it. And then you just come down to the 3rd fret of the E, and you leave the G and B open, doing picking pattern 2. Then we have this little turnaround that kind of tags the end of the verse. Very similar structures as what you just did, and here's what it is. So the turnaround, 3rd on A, 5 on B, pinch pattern, 2nd on A, 3rd on B, pinch pattern, then you bring the picking pattern 2 back, right? And then you go to, and that's on the open A, 2nd fret of B, then you move your thumb to the D string, 1st fret of the B, picking pattern 2, and then down to the 3rd fret of E, open G and B. So that completes verse 1. Okay, so verse 2 is actually exactly the same as verse 1, except there's no turnaround at the end. So I'll just play through it once with the singing, and you can just get a sense of it. All of the frets are the same, so you can just go back and look at verse 1 to learn this. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. Waiting for this moment to be free. So you can see all of that same exact sequence of notes, same picking patterns as verse 1. There's just no... That does not happen after verse 2, the turnaround, okay? Okay, so next is the chorus. So the vast majority of it is played on only the A and B strings, and you're going to start out on the 8th fret of the A and the 10th fret of the B, and you're going to do a pinch pattern, just like that. Then you move to the 7th fret of the A and the 8th fret of the B, do a pinch pattern, then scoot down to the 5th fret of the A and the 6th fret of the B. Then you move down to the 3rd fret of the A and the 5th fret of the B, pinch pattern. Then you're going to go down to the 1st fret of the A and the 3rd fret of the B. This is a new chord, a beautiful B flat 6 chord, and you bring in the 2nd picking pattern here. Then slide back up to the 3rd fret of the A and the 5th fret of the B. All right. And then after that, you repeat that whole sequence of notes, but the ending is just slightly different. It goes like this: 8 of A, 10 of B, 7 of A, 8 of B, 5 of A, 6 of B, 3rd of A, 5th of B, 1st of A, 3rd of B with picking pattern 2. And then you're going to move to the open A and 2nd fret of B. All right, and then you move to the D string with your thumb, 1st fret of B. And that is the chorus, okay? So that's when he sings "Into the Light of a Dark Black Night," right? And out of the chorus comes an instrumental interlude, which is almost exactly like the verse. In fact, it's 99% the same. So the last thing you're playing in the chorus, that structure there with the D string and the 1st fret down on the B, is the last thing you play before this starts. So I'm going to play the interlude once and then explain it. Okay, I hit the E string there at the end. But so that's the interlude. So as you can tell, it's exactly like the verse, and there's only one little difference, which I'll show you now. In the beginning, you do this ascending pattern, and you get here, do a picking pattern 2, and then after that picking pattern 2, you just do this. So normally what would happen there is there's 2 picking pattern 2s, but there's just one, and then instead of doing the second one, he just does this. And that's really easy. That's basically a pinch pattern with just an extra up strum on it. And you slide out of it, and then you proceed to do the rest of the verse. Okay, after the interlude comes in another chorus, which is exactly the same, and I'll just play it real quick. Right, and then we go into what I call the false ending, all right? This is where you think the song is about to end, hence the name false ending. And it starts just like a verse, but watch for the differences. I'll break them down. That and the bird whistles come in and he slides out of it. So as you can see, it starts out the same as a verse, and then he kind of vamps on these upper structures for a little while, and here's how he does it. The best way to think about it is he does picking pattern 2 4 times in a row, and then the pinch pattern 4 times in a row, okay? The only difference though is the second of the 4 picking pattern 2s is slightly altered. So he does a normal one first, and then he does this. So this is a unique strumming pattern he does. What he does is he does a pinch pattern, right? So it's the bass note and up down on the index finger doing the G and B strings. And then he does this. Okay, so he plucks down on the bass string with a down strum of the index finger on the G and B, and then just does an up down right after it. So it looks like this. This is the second repetition of picking pattern 2 during the false ending. So that down movement of your thumb and index together is kind of the only time you ever do that, and it's a little weird feeling at first, but that's how he does it. So again, this vamp section consists of 4 picking pattern 2s, the second of which is altered, which I just showed you, and 4 picking pattern 1s. And I'll count through them and show you. So here's the first one. 1, and the second one is altered. 3rd, 4th, and then the pinch pattern. 4 times. I guess 3.5 because the last time is just that, right? You don't do the down strum, okay? And then you hold that, you wait a beat, the bird chirping comes in on the recording, and you slide out, and out of the false ending comes the second turnaround, which is unique, but it involves structures you've already done, so here's how it goes. So you've slid out and you go... into the 3rd verse. So here's how turnaround 2 goes. You could probably figure this out on your own, but I'll break it down for you. So you start with the 3rd fret on the E, right? Doing your pinch pattern on the G and B strings. Go to open A, 1st fret of B, pinch pattern, 2nd fret of A, 3rd fret of B, pinch pattern, 3rd fret of A, 5th fret of B. So you normally don't go there, but that's what makes this one unique. Pinch pattern again. Go back to the 2nd fret of the A and the 3rd fret of the B. Then do an open A, 2nd fret of B, but you're doing the pinch pattern on it this time, which you've never done before, right? Then you go to the D string and the 1st fret of the B with 2nd picking pattern. And then you're into verse 3, which has the same lyrics as verse 1. So I'll play through verse 3 once and then break it down. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Fly all your life. It sings that faster there. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. And repeat that. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. And one more time. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. So that is the final verse there. So just to explain what I did there, he sings through the verse normally, right? And, gets all the way to, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Whoops. And then repeats that last set of lyrics 2 more times, but each time he's building off of the 3rd fret of the A string and the 5th fret of the B string. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. And you can see it's a set of structures that you're used to doing, right? The 3rd fret of the A, 5th of the B, doing picking pattern 1. 2nd fret of the A, 3rd fret of the B, picking pattern 1. Then you go to picking pattern 2. Open A, 2nd fret of B. Then you do the open D with the 1st fret of the B. And then you go to the low E, 3rd fret, open G and B. 2nd picking pattern, right? And that happens twice, and on the 2nd time, he does this. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Didn't sing that perfectly, but you see what he does here at the end is he makes just a straight G chord, 3rd fret of the E, 2nd fret of the A, 3rd fret of the high E, and he plucks the bass note with his thumb and then just does a little up strum like that on the E, B, and G strings. All right, so that completes the song, everybody. That's every part and every nuance captured. I really hope this lesson helps you, and happy practicing. Beep, beep. Okay, everybody, so that concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if there's any ideas you have for future content. I'm happy to cover some songs that you're wondering about, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hey, Liam, say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Beep, beep.